You are being manipulated, not by an emperor, not by a tyrant, but by an algorithm. Every single day, and the price you pay is your inner peace. Imagine Marcus Aurelius waking up in the 21st century, the philosopher king, who spent his mornings reflecting on virtue, fate, and the meaning of existence, now staring at an endless feed of curated images, hollow opinions, and dopamine traps. What would he say about your social media anxiety? Social media anxiety is the new epidemic of our generation. You wake up, reach for your phone, and before you even know how you feel, you're already consuming the lives of hundreds of strangers, comparing your raw, unfiltered reality with someone else's carefully edited highlight reel. You feel behind, unseen, not good enough. But the truth is simple. You're not anxious because of a lack of likes. You're anxious because you've become disconnected from yourself. And what if someone 2,000 years ago had already written the answers you're looking for? Today, we're going to do a Stoic social detox, not just from your phone, but from the mental chains you didn't even realize were there. 1. The echo of the crowd, the trap of public opinion. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Receive without pride, let go without attachment." In ancient Rome, the arena was the ultimate stage of public opinion. Gladiators didn't just fight for survival, they fought for approval. A single gesture from the crowd, thumbs up or down, could decide life or death. Today, the arena has changed. It's no longer stone and sand. It's digital. It's your phone. It's your Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. You post a photo, a thought, a moment, and wait. You wait for likes, for comments, for validation. And when it doesn't come, the silence feels like rejection, like 1,000 invisible thumbs pointing down. Here's the Stoic truth. Even silence is part of the judgment of the crowd. And here's the truth, the harsh, liberating truth that Marcus Aurelius would whisper to you if he were sitting beside you right now, watching you scroll through your feed, chasing shadows of validation. You were not born to entertain the crowd. You were born to govern yourself. You've spent days, months, maybe even years, shaping your identity, molding your actions to please the faceless audience of the internet. You bend for approval. You ache over rejection. You let silence from strangers steal your peace. But Stoicism was never a philosophy for applause. It was a path to self-mastery. Picture this: Marcus Aurelius staring at a screen filled with vanity, endless comparisons, petty arguments for attention. What would he do? He would close the app, sit in silence, and write, as he once did in his meditations, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." You are alive, but are you truly living, or just reacting? If a stranger's comment can ruin your day, if your self-worth depends on a digital number, then you are not free. Not yet. Stoicism does not promise a life without pain. It offers something stronger: the power to endure pain with dignity, to walk through anxiety with your head held high and your soul untouched. Real freedom is not silencing critics. It's no longer needing their approval. So before you open that app again, before you refresh that page, before you let your mood be dictated by strangers, pause. Remember this: the time you waste is life you'll never get back. Seneca wrote, "While we waste our time hesitating and postponing, life is slipping away." Today, now, you have a choice, not a choice between deleting or keeping an app, but something much deeper. Who do I choose to be? Even when no one is watching, cultivate inner silence. Guard your attention like sacred ground. Be the architect, not the echo. Be the owner, not the product. And if this reflection touched you, if it made you pause, if it helped you breathe a little deeper, maybe it's time to keep walking this path. There are other videos on this channel on how to reclaim your mental freedom and build a life that is truly worth living. But as always, the decision is yours. May you find the serenity you've been searching for, not in the screen, but within yourself. 2. The illusion of control. Why you suffer for what you don't control. Epictetus once said, "Some things are up to us, and some things are not." This is perhaps one of the most powerful teachings in Stoicism, and also the most brutally honest. When you post something online, do you control how people will react? Do you control who will like it? share it, criticize it, or ignore it. No, you control your intention. You control the care you put into what you share. You control your attitude when facing the outcome. But the outcome itself, that belongs to fortune, to chance, to external forces as unpredictable as the wind on a battlefield. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Yet, here you are, checking your phone every 5 minutes, trying to control the uncontrollable. You post, then you wait. You refresh the page. You wonder, why did they like that person's photo and not mine? Why did they leave my message unseen? You become a prisoner, not of others, but of your own unrealistic expectations. In Roman times, soldiers were trained to prepare for war, but never to expect victory. They focused on discipline, on readiness, and accepted that the outcome was never fully in their hands. Apply the same principle to your digital life. You can craft a thoughtful post, but you cannot craft how the world will respond. You can send a message, but you cannot force someone to reply. Freedom begins the moment you detach your peace of mind from things you don't control. The anxiety you feel scrolling through likes isn't coming from your phone. It's coming from your misplaced desire to control what was never yours. So next time you feel that tension rising, remember this Stoic exercise. Before you act, ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, let it go, because serenity is the art of surrendering to what you cannot command. 3. Dopamine and slavery. The emotional addiction Marcus Aurelius would never accept. Imagine this: a Roman emperor waking up every morning, reaching for a glowing rectangle, and spending hours endlessly scrolling through images of strangers, comparing his life, his appearance, his value to people he's never met. It sounds absurd, doesn't it? But that's exactly what millions of us do, every single day. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You exist to act in accordance with reason, not to be carried along like a puppet pulled by strings." Yet today, many of us live like puppets. But instead of strings, we're pulled by dopamine hits, by notifications, by likes, by comments, by the endless shallow reward system built into every social media platform. Every time your phone buzzes, a tiny chemical reaction happens in your brain. Dopamine, the same chemical that fueled ancient survival instincts, now hijacked by app developers to keep you chasing validation. You're not just using social media is using you. Epictetus warned, "Freedom is the name of virtue, slavery is the name of vice." You don't have chains on your wrists, but you check your phone like a prisoner waiting for a meal. You refresh your feed like a gambler pulling the lever on a slot machine, hoping for the next small win. Another like, another heart, another follower. This is not freedom. This is voluntary slavery. In ancient Rome, slaves had no choice. You willingly surrender your autonomy every time you let an algorithm dictate your mood. The Stoic solution? Reclaim your mind. Marcus would sit in silence, contemplating the logos, the universal reason that governs all things, asking himself daily, is this worthy of me? Does this align with my nature as a rational being? So ask yourself, is this scroll, this endless search for digital applause, truly worthy of your limited precious time on this earth? A real Stoic detox starts here, not by deleting apps temporarily, but by refusing to let them own your attention, your peace, and your sense of worth. Because true freedom is the ability to say enough. 4. Memento mori digital, the time you'll never get back. Every time you unlock your phone and dive into the infinite scroll, something is being spent, not your data plan, not your battery, your life. Marcus Aurelius wrote, with brutal clarity, do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good. In the dusty corridors of time, the moments you're living now are slipping through your fingers like sand. And yet, you trade them for reels, for memes, for carefully edited glimpses into the lives of others. You sit there, scrolling, while outside the sun rises and sets, while real conversations wait, while your own projects, your own purpose, remain untouched. The Romans believed in memento mori, the constant remembrance of death, not as something morbid, but as something liberating. To remind you, time is not a renewable resource. You're not just killing time, you're letting time kill you. Seneca, in his letters, went even further. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Now pause, really pause, and calculate how many hours, days, months of your life have you surrendered to mindless scrolling? And what did you gain in return? A few seconds of distraction, a fleeting sense of connection, moments of comparison-fueled sadness. If Marcus Aurelius were beside you now, he would not shout, he wouldn't lecture, he would simply ask, is this how you wish to spend the only life you will ever have? Because every scroll is a choice to live, or to watch others live while you fade away, quietly, one notification at a time. The Stoic detox starts here, not with deleting an app, but with remembering that your time is your most precious and finite possession. So before you open that app again, ask yourself, is this moment worthy of my death? Because whether you realize it or not, every wasted minute is a small rehearsal for the final silence. 5. Strategic indifference, the Stoic shield against social anxiety. Seneca once said, a wise man is indifferent to that which lies outside his control, but never indifferent to virtue. Indifference. At first glance, the word feels cold, like emotional numbness or apathy. But in Stoicism, indifference is not absence of feeling, it's mastery of feeling. It's choosing what deserves your emotional energy, and what now. Every day on social media, you're bombarded with opinions, criticisms, judgments, comparisons. Someone loves your post, you feel good. Someone ignores it, you feel invisible. Someone criticizes, you spiral into self-doubt. You become a leaf in the wind, tossed around by forces you cannot control. Marcus Aurelius knew this trap well. Even as emperor, he was surrounded by flatterers, critics, political enemies, and yet, he wrote, I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of? If I'm going to do what I was born for, the things I was brought into the world to do, your duty is not to please, it's to act according to your values, to live with integrity, to pursue virtue. So what does Stoic indifference look like? In the digital age, it means posting something meaningful and letting go of how many people will see it. It means receiving a hateful comment and choosing not to let it enter your soul. It means seeing someone else's success without turning it into your personal failure. Epictetus offers the most practical exercise for this. When something happens, remember that it is neither good nor bad by nature. Only your judgment makes it so. So the next time a notification triggers your anxiety, pause, breathe, ask yourself, does this situation touch my character? Does it affect my virtue? Is this something I control? If the answer is no, you already know what to do. Scroll past, ignore the noise, return to your inner citadel, that sacred place inside you, where opinions don't enter, and peace waits in silence. Because the ultimate Stoic detox is not about turning off your phone, it's about turning off your need for external validation. When you master that, you won't just detox your social media feed, you'll detox your soul. Epictetus warned, if someone speaks badly of you, do not defend yourself. The harm is not in their words, but in your interpretation. You suffer not because people didn't like your post, but because you built your identity on their approval. Each notification gives you a hit of dopamine, and each absence of it triggers a silent existential crisis. Now imagine Marcus Aurelius scrolling through your feed, seeing strangers shouting opinions, people desperately curating their lives for applause, basing their self-worth on digital reactions from people they barely know. He would close the app, sit in silence, and remind himself, what matters is not what they think of me, but how I choose to live according to virtue. So the Stoic answer is simple. Post for truth, not for applause. Act with integrity, not for likes. And remember, your peace does not belong to the crowd. It belongs to you. Which way sin dech, equal or dech, equal.